everybody. Welcome to Upper Crust Pizza on Shelby Drive in Jonesboro. We are live with John Brady on this Tuesday night. Great crowd out here at Upper Crust. And well, over the next hour, we're talking A-State basketball live on our flagship station, 107.9 KFI, also across many of our affiliates on the EAB Red Wolves Sports Network. I appreciate that, Coach.
Hey, who is that guy does the introduction?
Well, he's a guy that we hired just for this particular cause.
He's got a good voice.
He does. He gets paid well for that.
Does he? Is he a national guy or something that does stuff all over?
National guy, yes.
So he's not a local.
No, he's not around here locally.
He's good.
Very good.
Yeah, he is.
And we've got some good stuff to give away tonight from our friends at Textbook Brokers at 2106 East Johnson in Jonesboro. We've got a Red Wolf cap to give away. We've also got a scarf. Good time of year for that. Also an Arkansas State Adidas basketball T-shirt. And, Coach, you brought something tonight as well.
Oh, I got my usual vest.
Got a sweater vest, A-State basketball sweater vest.
It's an XL. I tried to find a smaller size, but XL is all I could locate.
I think we got a few XLs in the room. They might be after they finish the pizza tonight. But we've got question cards floating around the audience.
Have we ever thought about having a mic here for somebody to come up and ask a question?
Well, they're more than welcome to come up and do that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought we could put a mic.
We
up
got
there
the question cards right here if
I
they want to fill that
out. I could get into a dialogue with someone.
We can certainly do that if you like. We've got question cards, though, with your name, your hometown, your question for Coach Brady. And if you fill one out during the course of the program tonight, you're qualified to win one of our great door prizes from Textbook Brokers and compliments of Coach Brady. We're going to be looking back at the last week for the Red Wolves. Also look ahead to Thursday's big game against Troy at the Convocation Center. And coming up, we'll also visit with A-State Associate Head Coach Melvin Harrelson. He's here with us tonight. But, well, Coach, a big week. Still, 8 games left in the regular season. This Troy team's coming in off a big win over Texas Arlington last Saturday. And, well, this is a team that's right beneath you in the conference race, so we need a big crowd out there.
Well, we stumped our toe last week. It wasn't a good week for us. Wasn't a good week for anybody, coaches, players, fans, or anyone. And Little Rock was behind us and still are, but and we could have beat them down farther, but we started well and then didn't finish it good at all, and gave that one up. And then we go to Georgia State, and actually I felt better after the Georgia State game, which is really crazy because of the score, than I did against the Little Rock game. Georgia State, you shoot 9 for 49. I don't care who you play. It's not going to happen. But we defended their best player as we should have. We broke down defensively a little bit, but because we didn't score it, your team can't keep its morale up if sometimes it doesn't go in the hole. I think our first 10 shots, we were 0 for 10 or something to that effect, or 1 for 10 and missed 5 in the paint, and we just couldn't score the ball at Georgia State.
Shot selection was good, though.
I didn't mind any of that. There's some things I can control and that I can't. Who shoots and from where, I can do that for the most part. But once it leaves the hand, I got no bearing on it. That's just a matter of players making the play when they get the opportunity. We had the right guys shooting it, and we just didn't score it. We held them to under 40% shooting the second half, and did some pretty good things defensively. We just 9 for. I looked at the sheet one time. We were 6 for 44. Mm-hmm. I mean, 6 for 44. You kidding me? That was like 5 or 6 minutes left in the game, and I knew it was bad, but I didn't realize it was that bad till I looked at the score. When Melvin had it during the game, I said, "Good gracious, we can't shoot it at all." So that's the reason that score was like it was. But the game at home against Little Rock was just disappointing for everyone. I didn't like it, and to go prepare against the matchup zone of Georgia State in one day is not the best thing, and we didn't handle it very well. But I understand where our players were, because they were disappointed after the game too against Little Rock when we started and had a 12-point lead, and just kind of second half just got into a lull and we couldn't score the ball, and then we didn't guard their best player, and we let Josh Hagens just dominate the game and run all through us, and we certainly didn't show the fight or the competitiveness that I would like us to show, and that's disappointing in us. And this team, I hadn't got this team. We hadn't developed a leader out of it. We've got some deficiencies in terms of competitiveness that really bothers me a little bit. And we just need to do a better job. As you said, we got 8 games left. We've got the majority of games at home. We've got some favorite games here at home. We beat Troy down there at their place. Certainly we can beat them here. They did win a game on the road at UT Arlington. They were down 1, got fouled with 5 seconds to go and made 2 free throws, being down 1 to go up 1, and Arlington came down and shot the ball and didn't go in, and Troy escaped that game. I watched the tape today, the whole game today, and UT Arlington led the game the whole way. I don't know if Troy ever had a lead outside of the first 3 minutes, and they win the game in the last 10 seconds. So, but they played hard. I was impressed with how both teams played, how hard they played. It wasn't a well-played game, but it was a hard-played game, and certainly we're going to have to match some of that intensity with some intensity of our own. And I'm just curious to see. Our practice yesterday was good. Our practice today wasn't real good. Another inconsistency that we have, and I think all of our players, coaches too, and certainly I do, need to take responsibility for where you are. And the only way you can get better if you accept the responsibility that you need to get better. It's no one else's fault. It's no one else to point a finger at. It's no excuse making. Everyone has to take the responsibility that they're not doing their job good enough, and you've got to do better. And until our team from top to bottom faces that fact, it's certainly not going to be what I want it to be. And I thought about, let's just start 5 new guys, but that won't help our morale at all. That wouldn't help us. But we changed the lineup a little bit today, had different guys competing against each other. Did that yesterday. It worked well. Today we weren't as competitive. We're going to back it off tomorrow and do some positive things with our team and get them to, hope. You got to have hope out there. So our players know what we need to do. We put it on the board. We've talked to them. They know where they are. We know what we've got to do. We know who's below us. We know who's ahead of us. Everything would change. You win 8 in a row. But we've got change some things within our team and ourselves in order to improve and take a jump. But Troy's a team we beat. We can beat them here. I'm interested to see how we play and who shows up. I think we haven't played as hard as we need to play with the consistency of competitiveness that we need. And somebody may say, well, why don't you get them to do that? Trust me. I've
trying to get the message
the gambit
across
on this thing. I've been nice guy, bad guy, good cop, bad cop. I've done it all, and I've spent more time probably with this team in terms of motivational situations, speakers to them, than I have with any team since I've been here. And we haven't connected yet with this group in terms of with each other, the players with each other. To build what you need to build, and it's something I sense when I coach it, particularly in the practice. And until we get that, and we're going to work till we get that somehow, some way, where we can have a consistent playing team. At times we're good, and we've had good moments, but we haven't consistently played as well as we need to play to deserve to be the type of team that we all want us to be.
You talked about having a little hope, and obviously it's nice to have a little time after the game on Thursday. You will be the last team in the Sun Belt Conference to receive a bye coming up on Saturday. Actually, a couple of teams in the league have already had 2 byes at this point, but after Thursday, you have a full week between games. Van Wilhoit is here tonight. He's from Jonesboro, and he wants to know, Coach, how will having a week off between games help us?
Well, we'll see. I hope it helps us. We had this week off, and we'll have next week. We've had time to prepare for Troy, and then we'll have a whole week off till next Thursday. We'll see. We're going to probably do a little light stuff Friday, take off Saturday and Sunday and go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to prepare to go on the road against Georgia Southern. But it'll be interesting. I wish I could tell Van that's going to change our team and flip our mojo, but I don't know. We'll see. But we need some acceptance of responsibility and better leadership in order to be the kind of team we want to be on a consistent basis.
Bill West is here from Jonesboro tonight. You mentioned possibly changing up the starting lineup for Thursday. He wants to know, can you tell us now who is going to start that game against Troy?
Flip a coin. I probably will change probably on the front line. We've been experimenting with that. We've had that 4 spot, 5 spot or 4 spot, whatever you want to call it. We've juggled some guys in there, and we played Fred Dewar a little bit more lately, and we're going to substitute quicker for sure. Troy's played a lot of zone recently, and we're going to try to get if they zone it, we're going to try to get our better shooters in the game, of which Fred is one of those, and along with Cam and Sean Golden. But I don't know. I don't really know how we're going to change the lineup, but we're going to put another guy in there and then substitute quicker and change it as the game moves along.
St. Bernard's bringing you your health update every week, and Charles Waters, we saw him go down hard in the UALR game, didn't come back into that game, but he did come back and actually come in off the bench against Georgia State. Looked like he was fine, but you did start Kelvin Downs in that Georgia State game.
Well, Kelvin practiced well, and we started him to just see if we can get something out of that spot. But, Kelvin was 0 for 5 at Georgia State, missed 4 bunnies right around the goal. So, that didn't work out. So Nam had a good game against Troy, and if he practices well tomorrow, we may give him an opportunity against Troy because he did score it well and play well against Troy down there last week.
All right, we're going to get to some more questions. Of course, we've got A-State Associate Head Coach Melvin Harrelson coming up here in just a little bit as well. Are we going to talk with him next?
Whatever you want to do. That'd be fantastic. We had our other coaches on, and I don't want to, I want to make sure.
We don't want to leave them out. We'll talk with Melvin Harrelson when we come back. We're live with John Brady at Upper Crust Pizza in Jonesboro. Stay tuned. Red Wolves basketball will continue in a moment.
Can't stop, won't stop. Where the brakes at? I give him that diddy bop. Make moves or make excuse. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. You can't stop me.
We're rejoined now by A-State Associate Head Coach Melvin Harrelson out here at Upper Crust. And you were talking about during your playing days at Auburn University how the best player you played with was Chuck Person, but you said you wanted to say who the best player you played against was, and who was that?
Well, I think she had asked me who was the best player I played against, and I said Steve Alford. He's the head coach at UCLA right now, but played him in the NCAA tournament. Steve played for Indiana for Bobby Knight at the time, and boy, he ended up with like 36 points. So
now, was this the year of the national championship?
This is the year of the national championship. He got really, really hot against us. We held him in the first half. I think it was like 9 points or something like that, but he caught on fire, and he was a really, really good player.
Ken Stewart is here from Jonesboro tonight. Ken wants to know, Coach, with the bye week coming up, do you anticipate us refocusing and playing up to our potential?
Yes, I think we've had a couple good practices. I think our guys are focused. I think Coach Brady's done a good job of, just kind of like getting in practice and pretty much going over the same stuff that we've been going over. Trying to get the kids to understand it, talking a lot in detail about what we want to do and how we want to do it, and it just get to the point now, at this late stage of the season, it's all about, those guys doing their job and doing their part of it, and I think that our team will be ready to play.
Again, if you're at Upper Crush, you always have an opportunity to ask questions. Just fill out a question card there throughout the audience. You can write your name, your hometown, your question for Coach Brady or for Coach Harrelson tonight. You can win great door prizes from our friends at Textbook Brokers on East Johnson and Jonesboro. Also, Coach Brady brought a good-looking sweater vest we're going to be giving away as a door prize a little bit later on tonight. We asked a question from Ken Stewart. Here's one from his wife, Marlita. She wants to know about recruiting and just the kind of players you're looking at right now.
Well, at this particular time, we've been so focused on our team, trying to get them better and that kind of deal, and we hadn't done a whole lot of going out to recruit. I think at this particular time, we have one scholarship, and we're gonna, we want to take our time and make sure we get the right person, to come in to help the team. So right now at this time, it's about the focus of our team, trying to get these guys, better and trying to get them ready and put them in a situation where we can do a good job as far as like getting to our own tournament and maybe having a chance, get to the NCAA tournament.
Ray Harson is here from Mark Tree tonight, and Coach Brady's talked a lot about trying to get the guys to play consistently this year and play for an entire 40 minutes. What's the trick to doing that, to get these guys to buy in to playing an entire 40 minutes?
Well, I don't know if it's a trick.
Yeah.
It's one of those deals where it's just got to be it's like having a passion in your heart for something that you like doing, and just refusing to lose. And listen to detail, executing on the offensive end and executing on the defensive end. And I don't think any trickery got to be in that kind of stuff. It's all about your love for the game and what you like to do, and competing. Not just wanting to do it just for yourself, but wanting to do it for the community, want to do it for your alums, want to do it for yourself. You know what I mean? It's not about trickery. It's all about just getting it done and working hard and comprehending what coach is trying to teach and then going out and doing it.
And you see glances of how good this team can be. We've seen it. There's a 4-game win streak earlier in the year that included that victory at Mississippi State. This team's won 6 games on the road already this season, which is 2 away from tying the school record as far as road victories. And you only have to go back to the UALR game and see that second half the Troy game, see the second half you played against that team where you had a 16-0 run at one point, 27-5. At another point in that second half, you come back and win by 9 on the road to see what this team is capable of doing.
Well, true, and it's all about, like I said, to me, my opinion on it is all about us when it comes down to winning and grinding our games. It's all about toughness, and that's the one thing that you have to do for that whole 40 minutes. There's gonna be some times when you miss shots and stuff like that, but giving 22 points up in transition, the last game that we done is just not excusable. That's something that shouldn't happen, should never happen. Me and you talk all the time about transition defense.
Yep.
And
I ask you the keys to the game every game, and the first thing you say is transition defense.
Because transition defense, getting back in transition, that's the first part of defense.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get the first part right, you can't get the second and the third, which is the second is guarding, the middle stuff, which is down screens, cross screens, that kind of stuff, and then ball screen at the end, and then you have to box out. There's 3 phases of it to me. It's all about transition, and then, the last phase of it is boxing out, but then there's a lot of middle stuff in the middle that you have to do, and I think we do a pretty good job with the middle stuff, but when it comes down to transition defense and boxing out, which is the toughness part I'm talking about, not giving teams second shots, not letting teams drive on you and getting into the paint and that kind of deal, those are things that we've, sometimes it look good and then sometimes it doesn't look good, and we got to continue to do that. And I'm the guy that does most of the defense, so I got to do a better job on that.
Tammy Basham is here from Jonesboro. Tammy wants to know, Coach, you've been in the business a long time. What was your favorite team to work with? You got a favorite team?
Oh, my favorite team.
You've been here several years at Arkansas State with some good teams too.
Well, my favorite team while I've been here at Arkansas State, I really liked the team last year a whole lot. I mean, I thought that you had a couple of guys that really loved the game, had that passion for it. Like I thought Kurt Van Slyke was one of those guys that played hard every single day, every possession. He was gonna give you everything he had. And Ed Townsend was the same kind of way. You get Ed, you put him out there, pick guys up whole court, never complained, never said anything, just worked extremely, extremely hard.
Yeah.
And Kendrick, he was one of those type of guys. He was gonna battle you inside, and you knew you was gonna have to work, and this guy was gonna duck in. He's gonna get scores right around the bucket. So I thought we had some great guys last year, and I really feel good. I think we got some great guys this year. It's just we just got to put it together, and we just got to be a lot tougher.
We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll spend just a few more minutes with Melvin Harrelson. We're live with John Brady at Upper Crust Pizza in Jonesboro. Stay tuned. Red Wolves basketball will continue in a moment. About 20 minutes left on the program. We're going to spend a few more with Melvin Harrelson before we're rejoined by Coach Brady out here at Upper Crust. But again, Thursday night, 7:30 at the Convocation Center. We need you there as the Red Wolves take on the Trojans of Troy. A-State looking for the season sweep over Troy. As we've got some more questions to get to, but Coach, you and I were just talking about it off the air a little bit. You were talking about some of the guys from last year's team that you really like, and I know you like a lot of the guys on this year's squad, but Coach Brady talked about it a little bit earlier, perhaps getting Frederick Dure into the game a little bit earlier off the bench. He's one of those shooters that you like against a zone like Troy will play on Thursday night, but you like Fred a lot.
Well, I think that Fred Dure is a really, really good player. If you asked, me, my opinion, I think he's got the best IQ as far as knowing what to do and how to play and picking up things. He does it really well. He picks up stuff really, really well. But then when you look at it also, when you look at like recruiting, scouting services and that kind of thing, he's the most highly recruited kid out of all of them. So
really,
at the end of the day, yes, he was the top 100 player coming out of junior college. So really good kid, doesn't say a whole lot, but he brings a pretty good game. He's not quite there yet, but I feel like, like if we'd have had him, it's just my opinion, and I think Coach might agree with it. But I think if we'd have had him at the beginning of the season, I think more than likely he'd be starting playing a whole lot of minutes.
Bob Shaneborn is here from Jonesboro tonight. He wants to know, Coach, what is the highest scoring game you've coached in during college? I know you've been a part of some wild games during your coaching career. What's the most points you've been a part of?
Well, I can't call that one out.
And I know you're a defensive guy. You like to keep it low.
I don't know, but I think some of the games when I was at the University of Texas with Tom Penders, we ran, shot balls like crazy. So I don't know exactly what the scores were, but I know we played against Arkansas and that kind of stuff, and I know the scores were always pretty high.
No, those were some wild games.
Those were really, really wild
then.
games. Yes,
especially between Texas and anybody they were playing in the Southwest Conference.
Right. 40 minutes of hell. Yeah, one of them deals.
All right, let's see. We've got Lynetta Pilkington. She's here tonight. She wants to know, who are the sleepers maybe in the Sun Belt Conference, and who do you expect to be playing the best come conference tournament time?
Oh, I think the one sleeper is us, and I think we're going to be playing the best during the conference time.
There we go. We certainly hope that that is the case coming up here in the next few weeks as you get ready for conference tournament time. We appreciate you coming out tonight. We're going to be rejoined by Coach Brady when we come back, and good luck on Thursday night.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, stay tuned. This is Arkansas State basketball on the EAB Red Wolves Sports Network.
Can't stop, won't stop. Where the brakes at? I give him that diddy bop. Make moves or make excuses. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not an option. You can't stop me.
We've got about 12 more minutes remaining on the program. We're live with John Brady on this Tuesday night as the Red Wolves continue to get set for the big game Thursday night at the Convocation Center. 7:30 tip against the Trojans of Troy.
It is a big game.
Big game coming up on Thursday night against the Trojans, trying for the season sweep against Troy. And you go back to the second half of that game. We were talking about it with Coach Harrelson a few minutes ago, but really one of the better halves of basketball your team's played all season long.
We played well there, really did, and I was proud of our guys after Lafayette to come in there and turn it around and play as well as we did, particularly the second half, as I was really impressed with our players. I told them that and told them how proud I was of them and what they showed. And for some reason we can't keep that, whatever reason it is, we hadn't been able to capture that from maybe it's, coaching standpoint, players individually accepting that responsibility and the challenge of it on a daily basis. But to have that in us and then kind of drift away from it. But we've had an issue with concentration. And in Little Rock, for example, press offense is something we do every day. We work today on press attack, our press and press attack, press offense for 25 minutes a day up and down the floor, getting in the right position and executing. And that our team sometimes gets away from its execution. We a few times against Little, we didn't have people in the right places, and that's alarming. Today we had to remind guys where to go in zone offense a little bit, and it's February, and to have to re-coach and reteach those type of things. Maybe a collection of 10 new guys is just that way. But you at some point in time you've got to clue in, and it's got to become habit forming. You do it every day, you drill it every day, you work against one another, and you're supposed to move forward with the execution. It becomes second nature, and our team hasn't hit that spot yet. We haven't got to that. We're still sometimes correcting things that we were correcting in November and December, and and that's the issue I have with our team, and I it's not about, and I go back and evaluate what I've done every day. I watched tape. I had to put Visine in my eyes this afternoon. It isn't about players. It's about coaches too, and I evaluate myself every single day. I to see what I could have done, should have done, need to have said, should not have said, anything to make this team play the best it can possibly play. And it's been difficult on this one now. I've had some good teams and some teams that we've worked with and had to do some special things for, but Melvin referred to it 4 or 5 times, the toughness of it, and I think toughness is competitiveness, and I think they go hand in hand, and certainly our team is not to the level it needs to be with that. And to be that way, it's about accepting responsibility, everybody. And I think there's some of that we haven't done as well as we need to. So we just need to do everything we can to encourage our players to be better. And the fans that are out there that are frustrated with our team, look, I understand all that. They should be. Because I am, and hopefully our players are. But at the end of the day, it's like my 2 daughters, they're mine. This team is ours. So you need to support the players regardless of what you think about the coach or or whatever. It's all about the players. And what they need more than anything is support and encouragement as opposed to somebody telling them this or that. And I think if we can get by that, and because everything else will be worked out at the end of the year, but this right here, we need to give the players the best opportunity to play the best they can. We've got 8 games to go. We need to get to New Orleans, and this is a big game for us to win on Thursday night.
Man, one thing about your teams, they seem to always play their best basketball late in the year. In fact, I don't know if you knew this, but your teams have won 13 straight home games in the month of February. So, of course, as we start heading down crunch time here, haven't lost a home game since February of 2010 as far as home games in the month of February. Ruby Anderson.
Well, I hope that proves true.
It's a nice streak to continue.
Well, that would solve a lot of problems if we could not lose this month at home. I'm with that. I didn't even know that stat, but our teams have played well. We've played well at home every year I've been here, except possibly. Well, even the first year we were like 7-5 at home. I mean, and that team wasn't very good. But since then, we've played tremendously well at home, and for some reason this year, we've had three of our worst performances in our building, and I don't know. That's baffling to me and disappointing. But again, 8 games to go. It starts Thursday night with Troy. It's a big win for us to be able to get, and hopefully we'll play our best.
5 of the final 8 are at the Convocation Center. Ruby Anderson is here from Jonesboro, and you look at 8 games left in the regular season. She wants to know, how many games do you think we're going to have to win to go to New Orleans?
I think we win 4. 8 will get us there. If we win 4 of the last 8, I think that'll get us there for sure. Because that would mean Little Rock or Troy's got to win 5, and I don't know if they can win 5. So that's why Thursday's a big game, to push Troy back down another notch, make them make another game to catch us. So we need, and our players know it. It's not pressure; it's just facts, and you've got to deal with that. And how you deal with it, and mentally, emotionally, it reflects in how you play it. And so we'll see, but it's an important game for us. Certainly, if we do lose it, we could still win 5 of the last, and still make it. But it would be nice for us to be able to get it on Thursday night.
Joe Clements is here from Jonesboro, and it's been well publicized, the criticism of the schedule, not just from Arkansas State's side, but just across the board in the Sun Belt Conference this year. Joe wants to know, would adding another team to the conference help ease the scheduling problem?
I think it would be perfect. And you could go back to East and West, and then you could have travel partners, and you could establish some things where you play on the road Thursday, Saturday, and home Thursday, Saturday, and you could let the girls play a separate night and make it a lot easier. What? I think the odd number throws the scheduling off. You can't have scheduled partners like that. So the odd number makes an odd deal. And I think you play 20 games, you got to play 3 or 4 in December. If you're going to play 18, you still need to play a couple in December to ease the scheduling of it and the travel of it. So I think another team would be perfect to give it a balance. But I don't think that's in the mix for the basketball part of it for a while. And what we have is what we have. We've got to deal with the best we can. And I think the administration in the Sun Belt office is working on it now to ease the schedule next year. I don't know if it's going to be 16 or 18 games. But even if it's 18 or so or 20, we're going to still have to play some in December, which I don't mind at all.
Patrick Stone is here tonight. He's from Jonesboro, and Patrick wants to know simply, Coach, what has been your favorite rival over the years? You got a favorite rival?
You talking about here? Arkansas State, obviously, it's Little Rock.
Little Rock.
Rest of them don't even register on the radar compared to that one. But if he's talking about before here, all those teams in SEC are goofy to play. I mean, I like playing Arkansas. I liked it all. Ole Miss was a good rival for us. I liked them all, though. They were all good. Alabama, it was all. Kentucky was big. All those things are just it's a whole different dimension when you walk in those type of environments.
You mentioned UALR, and after the game Thursday, one of the things that you mentioned following that game was the crowd, and you complimented the crowd. That was the biggest we've seen this year at the Convocation Center, and they certainly came and were loud at times in the game.
Well, you got to give them something to talk about. You know, it's the old song. You know, let's give them something to talk about. We didn't give them much. Well, we gave them something. It's not the kind of talk I want, but we need to. You know, the crowd was great, and you know, we didn't match, our play didn't match the crowd, and that's disappointing. But we just got to do better, and we've got to do it from an execution standpoint, a competitive standpoint, as Coach Harrelson said, a toughness standpoint. We've got to have all those things come together on our team for us to be what we want to be, or think we can be. And you know, that's why Thursday's an important game for us, and hopefully we'll put our best effort out there and play 40 minutes. You know, I would like to play the second half at Troy. I'd like to play that, duplicate that for 2 halves here, and it'd be a really nice game for us. So our players know we can beat them. We beat them at their place. Now we've just got to go out and do it and execute it and take it one play at a time and take every play personal, whether it's a defensive play or an offensive play. Take it all personal, where it's your job to screen it or pass it or shoot it or rebound it. You've got to do your job and do it consistently for the team to function as it should.
We talked about the week between games. After the game Thursday night, what's the schedule? Do you give your guys a little bit of time off?
Well, we alluded to that earlier. I think it depends on how it goes, but I'm thinking Friday we come in and do some individual work and some skill work and watch a little tape, and then maybe take off Saturday, Sunday, and come back Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and prep for Georgia Southern and give our guys a couple of days off, which I don't think ever hurts at this particular time of the year.
Why don't you draw 4 names for us there, Coach? We had a bunch of cards turned in tonight. We got some door prizes to give away, thanks to our friends at Textbook Brokers, and for Coach Brady bringing in door prizes tonight. Our next edition of Live with John Brady is coming up Monday night. Monday night's the rest of the way. 7 to 8 right back here at Upper Crust, and we want to see you Thursday night at the Convocation Center. The women's game tips at 5. You can hear that one in Northeast Arkansas, 95.3 The Ticket. We want to see you there at the Convo, however, and the men play at 7:30. Centennial Bank pregame at 7 right here on the EAB Red Wolves Sports Network. Thanks to David Wofford back in the studio. For everybody coming up to the Upper Crust here on Shelby Drive in Jonesboro tonight, for this little guy joining us up here at
Go Red Wolves
tonight.
right? Go
Red
Red
Wolves. The Red Wolves signal.
Go Red Wolves.
There we go.
Baby. Let's hear it.
For Coach Brady, Coach Harrelson, I'm Matt Stoltz. Good night, everybody.